Let's just jump right into it, man.
Do
Beckett
it.
grading. Threw in the towel, man. Beckett threw in the towel, and that's it. That's it for them. Here's the thing about it. Did did they not see what happened to SGC? Did they
Of course
not
they did.
see how everything that was said about collectors acquiring Beckett was the same things, almost verbatim, what they said when they acquired SGC? They're still gonna operate as an independent grading company. They're still gonna have their own grading standards, their own customer service, their own grading team. Everything is going to be independent from PSA. And then what happens? PSA does the same thing to SGC, Collectors does the same thing to SGC, brings them on over and goes, "Hey, actually, we need some more graders on PSA. We're kind of getting flooded over here. So we're gonna pull some of your graders over there." And then, "But you know what? You know what, Peter? Probably not. You're not really fitting in here anymore." So you probably got two options. You can either one, get fired and we can let you go, or you can just step down, probably get some severance package and walk off in the sunset.
Walk the plank.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I was saying it nicely. Don't you think that's exactly what's gonna happen to Beckett now?
Yep, without a doubt in my mind.
You're not gonna let Beckett operate independently for very long.
Exactly.
You're doing this until you can gain their trust, grab all their graders, and then go, "Hey, you guys can join SGC over there in that boutique little strip mall that they're in right now." And that's it. So, it's bad. It's bad. It's looking like a monopoly. It's looking like Collectors. It's just cornering. I was reading an article and it says that they own now, I think 79% of the grading volume that happens in the house. And you wanna tell me that's not a monopoly?
Exactly.
What were your thoughts when you heard it?
Horrible. Obviously, I was pissed when SGC sold out. Now I'm double pissed that Beckett sold out. And I commented on our post. It's only a matter of time until CGC, Tag, whoever else is left. They're either going to get bought out or they're going to get forced out just based on power, just based on PSA/SGC/Beckett power. Do I want that to happen? No. Without competition is important. It avoids monopolies. And the more grading companies that you allow Collectors/PSA to buy up, yeah, it's just going to get worse. Once they start buying up all of them, they have all the power. They're going to be like, yep, well, you want your cards graded? We have all the power. It's going to cost $80 a card. And if you want it within, I don't know, a week, it's going to cost hundreds, thousands. So it's not good, man. It's not good at all. Pisses me off a lot. I'm pissed at SGC. I'm pissed at Beckett too. But I don't want to speak on that what's the word? Fully accurately, because I don't know if they're public companies and they had no choice, but if they did have a choice, I'm pissed. I would have just been like, nah, no thank you. We're not selling to you.
I mean, everybody in the hobby knows when it comes to Beckett, they must have been hemorrhaging money, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
dude.
no way that I know Beckett does a lot of other things other than just card grading. I would have to assume that the bulk of their profits had to have come from grading cards up until they became what, fourth best grading company in the hobby. So to me, I have to assume that, yeah, like I said, they were hemorrhaging money and whatever offer Collectors made for them was just too good to pass up. Money talks. Money talks.
Always.
And if you are the owner or the president of Beckett Grading and you know you are losing money probably on a daily basis, I mean, your hands were tied. And I think that's exactly what Collectors is looking at. They're looking at SGC and Beckett are two of the most experienced grading companies in the hobby.
Yes.
Let's buy them out. We can still let them run independently so it doesn't look like we're running a monopoly over here. But we're going to take all those experienced graders from Beckett, which I'm sure Beckett's got a ton of them, and we're pushing them over to PSA. because now we have to staff our London submission center. We have to staff our submission center in Cards HQ. We gotta they're popping up everywhere. It's probably easier just to buy out these companies instead of trying to find these inexperienced graders
Bingo.
and putting out a job posting and saying, "Hey, apply for this position." You know what I'm saying? And then you're eliminating your competition.
Bingo. Yep.
You're eliminating your sports competition because I can't see PSA looking at CGC and thinking that they're a competitor when it comes to sports cards.
Yeah.
TCG, I could see it happening where either of them can kind of become king. And then Tag's too new. They're not looking at Tag. They're probably looking at Tag how HGA was. HGA was another one of those use technology in order to grade instead of human graders. And look how that happened. That didn't
Yeah.
last very long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from a business standpoint, it was probably something Beckett needed to do in order to stay alive. But I mean, yeah, you're walking the plank
Yeah.
until one day they're going to boot you off
Yeah.
and then you're going to be swimming with the fishes.
That's
And
right.
that's it. And it's going to be over.
How do you feel about it, Jason?
Well, this is how I feel. Let's run that intro. When I saw it, I was like, hey, first thought that came into my head was, hey, perfect timing for the podcast.
Yeah, true.
Usually we're like a week behind on some of these topics. I was like, this was like perfect timing that all this was announced. The first thought in my head was, and I texted it to you guys. Didn't you see what happened to SGC? Why the hell would you make this deal? SGC's almost gone. Nobody's grading with them anymore except for Luke, you know? I mean, who's still grading cards with SGC now? Can't be many. They're not even on what it goes PSA, CGC, Tag, maybe, and then Beckett, or Beckett then Tag. They're not even CGC. It might not even be on the list on the top 4 anymore. So how did you think that was a good idea? Unless maybe you have something in the works where you're like, hey, you're not doing what you did to SGC. We're still going to be a company. You're just helping us financially.
Mm.
But Collector still has the power to go, yeah, this isn't working out. Because I'm pretty sure that's what happened with SGC. This is not working out the way we thought it was going to. Actually, it's working out the way we exactly thought it was going to,
Yeah,
but we just
exactly.
told you otherwise. So, yeah, I'm a little shocked. I was shocked. I didn't think that they would be the ones to get bought out. I honestly just thought Beckett was just on the way out. I thought Beckett would just end up, hey, we're closing shop and that's it, and we're done because we can't do this anymore. But we'll see. We'll have to see what happens.
It's probably where things were going to go. And then they got the call from collectors and like, hey, your ship is sinking. Here's your only chance at a life raft. And they took it. I mean, I understand. It is what it is. It's probably a decision that they had to make. But in terms of the repercussions or the collateral damage for all of us in the hobby, things are looking grim in the grading world to me.
If Beckett can stay an independent grading company, do you think this is going to help Beckett? Do you think this is going to make people want to grade with Beckett again?
Yeah. This is like a huge if/assumption, assuming that they are operating as they have been, but they're getting more money. Technically speaking, that should boost them if they're getting more money from more creators, or they're getting more money for, I don't know, quicker turnaround times or some sort of adjustment to their grading prices that will entice people to grade with Beckett. Sure, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to go the route of SGC. Yeah, Beckett had a really long run, which is also super sad because they've been around a very long time. They even used to have those magazines that came out all the time. They probably still
I
make
think
them.
they still do. Yeah, I think they
So,
still do.
yeah, man. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to like old time card shops or you go to like a vintage booth at a show, a lot of these sellers pull out their Beckett magazine, their Beckett pricing book, pricing guide to see what cards are selling for. That's how it used to be
That's
back
so
in the
cool.
day before
That's
eBay came
cool.
along and 130 point and card ladder. They would uh they would go to Beckett, they would go to the magazine to check the value of the cards so they can sell them at a good price. I don't know, man. Gonna be the
They need to
PSA
bring that
magazine.
back. That needs to
Yeah.
be something brought back because I would totally subscribe to that.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know
That
what? That's
changes
card ladder. That's card ladder. That's market movers. That's exactly what those are. They're just
in their real time.
yeah, it's real time comps for your cards. You don't have to wait for the magazine to come in the, however many times it came, once a month, biweekly, whatever it was. But that's a cool thing that Beckett was doing. And I feel the same way. It's sad to see Beckett get to the point where they have to do that, or maybe if they felt like they had to accept this offer. But I just don't see why people would still like why this would make people grade with them again. The only thing that I see from it is PSAs and collectors is looking at this as a way to get more employees. They're gonna lessen the workload of Beckett. They're gonna take their graders, they're gonna take more employees, and then they're going to use them for PSA. And then their Beckett's just gonna be the next boutique brand in the grading hobby because it's not like now all of a sudden I'm looking at it and going, "Wow, Beckett got bought out by collectors. Oh my god, what cards can I send to Beckett now?" I mean, Beckett still plays a very important role in the high-end sports card market. A
Mhm.
lot of people we've talked about before, Roth cards, they still will try to grade cards with Beckett. If they come back a Beckett 9, that's typically when they'll then send to PSA and they'll get a PSA 9. But if they think that they can get a Beckett 9.5 versus a PSA 9, they'll go for that Beckett 9.5 because it's gem mint grade. So, I mean, they still play an important role in when it comes to those high-end basketball cards, Kobe. I mean, there's still so many Kobes and MJs and all these cards out there that are in Beckett graded slabs because like you said, they were king. They were king before the card boom in 2020. If you go probably 2018, and previously before that, it was Beckett. They were number 1 graders. PSA was not PSA was a thing, but they weren't nobody was really grading with them. And now all of a sudden, we put PSA on a pedestal that's this high and valued everybody else about here. And that's it. So I don't see how this is automatically I think you might see a little bit of a spike in their numbers. This might give some of those true Beckett graders, ones who have stuck through with them this entire time, that might give them some confidence that, hey, this might help them in the long run. But I said the same thing about SGC. I thought it was going to be good for SGC. I thought, hey, that's going to put SGC on the map. People are going to start grading with them. People are going to want SGC slabs because now they're under the same umbrella with PSA, and it didn't happen.
Mhm.
I mean, you're probably selling SGC slabs for almost probably every single one's probably less than the grading,
Sadly. Yeah. Unless it's vintage.
unless it's vintage. Yeah, vintage they still do extremely well in, but we have to see what happens. But and then then you got people like Jeff Wilson who love to take to the social media world. They love to jump right on Instagram and put their foot in their mouth, and just all it is just rage bait.
Mhm.
It's rage bait that he posts all the time saying that, "How is this a monopoly? PSA's grading 1,000,000 cards a month while BGS is, only grading 18,000." Come on, Jeff. Like, you know what a monopoly is, man. You're a big tech guy. You know exactly. And I was reading comments and people are just like, dude, come on, man. Like, we understand you're on the PSA payroll. We
Yeah.
get it. But just like you said last episode, call it how it is, man. Call it how it is. It's a monopoly waiting to happen.
Mhm.
I'll bet you they have their sights on CGC next. They're probably the ones that are in their sights because why would you're not going to worry about tag. You're not going to worry about C3 grading. You're not going to worry about Arena Club or whoever else is out there. You're not going to worry about them.
GMA.
CGC is now your competitor. So, I mean, it has to
And
be. It
what
has to be CGC in the sights next.
yeah. Do you think they're gonna succeed in buying them? And what happens if they do?
I think somebody else is gonna buy them first, and I think it's gonna be maybe it'll be Fanatics. Somebody's gonna
What?
they have something in line with Fanatics, I think,
It's
already. I think
interesting.
they have
It's
a
a really
partnership
interesting take.
I think they have a partnership with Fanatics already for, like, submissions or something like that, but I have to think that there's, going to be another company out there, a big company on the level of collectors that has to be going, "What if we bought CGC? What if we bought Tag, and we put them under the same umbrella, and we boosted their grading companies, and then we went after collectors because they're monopolizing the hobby, and now you got these 2 major entities just, like, clashing."
I think I don't know. I disagree. I think those big sharks, they're looking at it as like there's no point in investing in any other company besides PSA. Somebody already has.
I mean, CGC, I think, has a lot of upside. In the
Yeah,
TCG
sure.
world?
Yeah, TCG, sure.
Yeah.
But PSA has 80% of the market, and you want me to get a hold of the 20% and try to compete to get it to 50-50? It's difficult. It's very difficult to do. And if PSA buys out CGC,
Done.
there's, yeah, over.
That's it.
No point in continuing your grading business if you're not PSA or you're not a part of the collector's umbrella. If you want me to be nice about the wording I want to use. Yeah, man.
Well, do you think that the president of CGC has to be sitting back going, "We might have to do something drastic, or we're just gonna fall victim to what's happening to every other grading company out there?" Or
See,
do you think that they're not phased by it?
I personally wouldn't be phased because if I was running CGC, again, assuming that like I cannot be forcefully bought out, I'm not selling my company to the likes of collectors unless they're going to offer me $1 trillion, unless you can offer me enough money that I can pay off all of my employees $1 million, like their severance packages. That's how I feel personally, because obviously I'm like a collector at heart, and I hate to see this kind of shit happening. I know for everybody except for Jason, I hate grading companies. Starting to hate the cards companies. That includes Fanatics. That includes Panini. I guess if I had to pick a favorite card company, it would be Upper Deck, but they're on my shit list too. So yeah, that's me talking as a collector. If collectors, quote unquote, liars, if they tried to come buy CGC from me, I'd be like, no, unless you want to also give me $1 trillion and 51% ownership of PSA. That would be my counter. But what what do you think, Jason? If they do approach CGC, you acting as the CEO of CGC, what can they do? What can they do to like push back or just kind of stay relevant before it's too late?
Honestly, I think what CGC needs to start doing is they need to start teaming up with some of these big time social media influencers in the hobby.
Great thought.
I think that's a big thing. If they can get what they need is they need the backing. They need people out there promoting CGC, promoting their slabs, and promoting their value. That's gonna be the big thing. You need people out there that are going to promote the value that you bring to Pokemon cards or sports cards, whatever it is that you're grading with them. But for the sake of argument, we'll talk Pokemon
Yeah,
cards because
definitely
that's what
Pokemon.
they primarily do. You need people like Leonhardt.
It's
You
gonna say.
need people like PokeRev, Don Diego Trading. You need Diglett's Dungeon. You need all of these major social media accounts and these influencers that are hitting up all of these big time collecticons and all these,
Yeah,
TCG shows, and you need to start partnering with them.
Logan Paul, be a big
Logan
one.
Paul, but see, yeah, it could be Logan Paul. Yeah. Do all these partnerships with with big time influencers. And so when they go to all these shows, they're hyped. They're talking nothing but CGC. And that's what you need because the more people like a Steve Aoki,
Right,
he's
good one.
big in the sports card part of the hobby. If he starts, you get with him and he's now making all these videos or showcasing all these CGC slabs for Marvel cards or whatever he's buying. You have Don Diego going on making a bunch of videos and she's showing nothing but CGC or Leonhardt is, starts getting back into grading. I mean, he used to do a lot of grade reveals on his channel. I don't think he really does it anymore.
Yeah.
But if he got back into it and was hyping it up, like I said, talks, man,
Yeah.
money talks in this hobby. If you start doing some paid partnerships or you do some affiliate marketing, hey, man, you know what? You want us to talk CGC? You want us to hype up your business? I'll do it, man. I'll fucking do it in a heartbeat. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think CGC is on the right path because I told you when I went to that last local card show, it was probably 3-1 for Pokemon tables versus sports card tables. Pokemon's taken over, man.
Yeah.
And a ton, Imma tell you, a ton of them, all CGC slabs. Almost every single vendor had nothing but CGC slabs for their Pokemon cards, which that spoke volumes to me that, "Hey, man, CGC's doing a really good job in getting people to grade their Pokemon cards with them." And like I told you, I wrote down some markets that I wanna talk about, with you because I took some cards, some recent cards that have come out in some Pokemon sets, and I wrote down their PSA 10 prices, their CGC pristine 10 prices, their CGC 10 prices. I wrote down some tag prices, and I wanna compare them because, I mean, some of them are, not too far off from what PSA are, but we could kinda move on a little bit from there. We can do our show and tell. I don't have any can't not miss. Well, I got maybe one can't not miss, but you're probably just gonna get pissed off at it anyways. But just to end it right there on talking about CGC, I think they really need to start partnering up with some big names in the Pokemon community. And they need to like the Card Lounge podcast that talks nothing but Pokemon games and stuff like that. They need to partner up and they need to get voices on their side. Voices that are going to promote their business, promote their value, promote their grading, and that's how you can start. That's at least how you start competing against collectors. That's how you don't fall victim the way that SGC and Beckett did.
I think that's a great idea. I don't see the harm in getting more exposure, especially, hey man, you know how I feel about Logan Paul, but his YouTube following's got to be one of the best in the world. So you get him starting to talk about CGC, people will see it, especially young people too. Growing up collecting Pokemon cards, Leonhardt for sure.
He's
What's
got
that?
to be the biggest social media
Yeah,
name in Pokemon.
yeah, for real. What's that guy? I think we follow him on Facebook. It's like Koopa. Damn, I have to look him up. He makes a lot of good videos too, and someone like that, who's like super active in the Pokemon card hobby, and they post on YouTube and online all the time. Make a deal, or at least do something just to keep growing the brand, so that you don't become obsolete.
PSA's doing that. PSA's
I
doing that
know
with sports cards.
exactly.
They got Roth. They got King of Cards. I'm sure they probably have. I think they have Card Collector too. Maybe I'm not sure if they do, but I know they have Roth cards and I know they have King of Cards because hear them promote it on their videos
They have
all the
Jeff.
time.
They have Cards HQ.
They have Jeff now. So they have some big names in social media that are on their side. So CGC, man, you got. I know you have comics and you do a lot of other things, but if you don't want to fall victim to what's happening to this monopoly on the card side of grading, we're your guys right here.
Yeah.
CGC, I know you listen to this podcast. We will help you. Damn the man. Damn the man. Save the empire.
Jesus Christ.
What movie is that from?
I don't know.
You seen Empire Records?
The Empire Record. Oh, wait a minute. The Adam Sandler movie? No, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of what's the movie with Adam Sandler and Brendan Fraser and
Oh, you're thinking of Airheads.
I'm thinking of Airheads.
Oh, yeah. Watch Empire Records. It's a great movie. Damn the
I'll
man.
watch it.
Save the empire.
Damn, listen, the man. We're all already damned by the man. The Empire has fallen. It's a very sad reality that we're screwed no matter what. So just do what you gotta do. Send your cards to PSA.
Here we go. All right. Let's see some cards, man.
Yeah.
What you got over there?
So I got 2 raw cards. I actually purchased these recently on a Whatnot episode because I don't even care what they usually go for. If it's $1 and it's a cool Pokemon card, I'm gonna bid on it. I'm gonna try to win it. So the first one is Kara List.
Nice.
Yeah,
Full art trainer.
full art trainer card. I think it's from Shining Fates. Shining Fates. Kara List. And then this one is actually a Japanese card, so maybe Eric will be very happy. I couldn't figure out. I guess it's from Gem Volume 2. So it's a Pokeball Reverse Hollow Glaceon.
Oh, sweet.
I know.
Glaceon
I like
doesn't
the
get much
artwork.
love in the
I know.
evolutions.
I started getting, I shouldn't say that, but like after we hit that illustration rare in Evolving Skies of the Glaceon,
Oh, the alt art?
yeah,
Yeah.
the alt art, that's become one of my favorite evolutions. But in terms of like all time favorite evolution, I think it's Flareon. But I should I should think more on that. Anyway, those are my two cards. I didn't take a can't not miss card, but I'm sure both of these are can't not miss cards because I got them for $1 each. Probably worth less than that after fees and stuff.
Hey, man, that's all right.
What do you got, Jason?
All right. So I got some Pokemon cards too. I'll show the slab first. Made the video today. Finally got in
Sweet
my
card.
Astral Radiance Beedrill Alternate RV in a PSA 10. Why I said this is my can't not miss is because it's in a PSA 10.
So stupid.
Can't not miss. But it's a really cool card, man. I've been wanting this card for so long. You know that. I don't even know why it took me so long to finally buy it, but it did. I could have bought it back when it was like $60.
Mhm.
It's like almost tripled that. But I finally have it for my collection. Everybody knows I'm a huge Beedrill collector, so that was the card to have other than the base set ones. And then I got some of my raw cards in. You know me. I'm a big Sun and Moon fan, and I love that generation and all those sets that they came out with. So I did get some of the
Sweet.
singles. So this is oh now all of a sudden it doesn't want to focus. This is the Aerodactyl GX from Unified Minds.
Nice.
Raw. Yeah, the look at how good the hollow looks, man.
Yeah. It's a nice
Like
card.
like
Oh, there
there
we
it
go.
is.
Fine.
Yeah,
All
look at
this
that.
damn money on this stupid
Dude,
camera.
look at how good that card looks, man. Sick. And then I got this is Tapu Koko.
Nice.
Yep. Oh god, now it's not gonna. This is Tapu Koko GX from Guardians Rising. There
There
it
we
is.
go.
The
Damn.
GX cards are the coolest.
Those are sweet. Yeah.
But they are the absolute cool. I have a ton, man. And I just bought 3 more today.
Boy.
All from the bestseller
Worst seller on
on
eBay.
eBay. And then this is the
Cards are fake.
Incineroar
Trash.
for GX. This is from Team Up. There it is. He's like actually like scratching like through the card.
Hmm.
Dude, so even look at the eyes, man.
Yeah.
Like how the hollow goes through the eyes.
Shiny. Like a cat
I can't.
in
I'm
the night or something.
obsessed. And here's the thing about all these GX cards, man. You know how much I get these for? I'm buying these for like less than like $5 a card. And he's running a coupon right now.
Oh my
He's running a
God.
coupon right now, so I'm buying up. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want people to run. I don't want people to go over there and buy up these cards.
Don't buy the
But
cards from this crappy
I'm literally
seller, actually.
buying them for like $2-3, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hmm.
And those are my.
Do you send offers or are you just buying them straight up?
Now that he's running the coupon, I'm just getting them. I'm just getting them straight up and with the coupon. I haven't been sending it.
Yeah. Don't send them any offers because it's going to get declined.
No, it's not. Dude, I have made plenty of deals with him. You just were too high.
No.
Or no, I'm sorry, you went way too low.
I went to what they're selling for currently and it was declined.
It literally said, "Send a higher offer or they're not gonna be interested." And you went, "Nah, I'm gonna send lower."
No. Yeah. Hey, man. This card is worth $3. You want me to send $5? No. F
Yeah,
off.
so he counters.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah, the ones I got today, I bought a Raichu GX, a
Shout out
Lapras
Brandon.
GX, and a Pinsir GX.
Damn.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Some Gen 1, baby.
Some Gen 1, baby. That's right,
That's what I
man.
like to hear.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be like my newest addition to my collection of like trying to just get And not I probably won't go for any of the secret rare GX cards, so none of, like, the hyper rares or anything like that. I think I wanna just collect all just like the regular GX, just the full art regular GX ones, and I would have to it's gonna be a lot, but some of them I think you can get from, like, pretty cheap. It'll suck once I get to, like, the team up ones,
Oh yeah.
or the tag team cards where it's like, Pikachu and Zekrom and
Why are those like all of a sudden becoming super popular? I feel
yeah,
like
that Snorlax, what was that? That Snorlax and Eevee promo card
yeah.
has been going crazy.
What the heck?
I know, I think there's, like, a Blastoise and, like, Piplup.
Pip.
I know that one is, there's a Wailord and Magikarp card that's been getting, like, a lot of, attention and stuff, so I've been saying this, man, I think we're getting to a point where I think a lot of the Sun and Moon cards or those sets that came out during that time are starting to hit that, like, old set. Like, these are old sets,
I got you. Okay.
and I think a lot of people are now are getting like me, are going back to buying these cards from all these, sets that came out during Sun and Moon generation, and they're like, "Damn, I forgot how cool these cards were." And then you just get hyped. You get hyped, and then you want all the cards in your collection, so it's the same thing with, like, the Mega Evolution cards, you know?
Yeah.
People were I was buying the Mega Evolution cards for, almost, like, less than $10 a card, and
Yeah.
now
That's what I'm
they're all
saying.
selling for, like, 40 bucks.
So I was gonna say, when we used to go to Gamers World, those tag team cards were in the case like all the time. Nobody
Yep,
wanted to buy them.
yep.
And now I
We
feel like I
should have
should
bought we should have
everything,
cleared
man.
out their case
So
every day
stupid.
we went. Every
Exactly.
day.
Just doing dumb shit every day instead of buying
Yep.
cards like a smart person.
Do you know how many of those do you know I still think about those full, complete binders? Those complete sets that they had?
Yeah. Dumb.
I think about that all the time.
So stupid.
I also think about all the sealed first edition packs from WOTC that they had in there too. We should have bought every single one for that was selling at $200 at the time.
Yeah. Bingo.
Every single one of those packs we should have bought,
Yep. We're
you
sitting there
know?
going, "Ah, it's too much money. It's too much, too
Can't
expensive.
not miss, man. I
Can't
loved going to
not
Gamers World,
miss."
dude. I was going to Gamers World almost every single off day
Yeah.
and just walking back with cards, man. I was there all the time. I would just go to the mall, Schaumburg,
Yep.
Woodfield, Schaumburg, man, go into that Gamers World, buy up a couple cards, and that's when I was getting a lot of my, holos that I didn't have from, when I was a kid.
Mhm.
I was started buying up a lot of their holos because I was like, I didn't have, like, a holo Pinsir or anything like that. I didn't have those ones, so I was going and buying a holo Hitmonchan. So
Nice.
I was going there, I was buying them up, and they were like, maybe, like 15 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever. I was
10
just
bucks
buying them up.
sometimes. Yep.
Yeah. That's where I got my Mega Gengar one that I ended up selling like an idiot. I still got my
Can't
Meta
not
Yep.
miss.
I still got my Mega Alakazam because they had the Mega Alakazam there, and that's where I got that
Oh,
one. I
with
still own that one.
the white, that one?
Yeah, mhm. Yep, where he's, like, in the meditative pose and stuff. Yeah, that one I got. You remember the one worker there that brought his own binder? He was
Yeah.
letting us buy cards out of his own binder? Yeah, I still
Pretty
got
sure that
that
was
one.
Dana. Shout out Dana because he was also there when I went with, Danny and Diglett's Dungeon.
Sweet. Is he still
I
does he
don't
still
think
work
so.
there?
No, I haven't been there in a while, but I'm pretty sure he's gone. But, man, I miss it. So stupid. What the hell were we thinking?
I know. I know.
Same shit. Morons.
We
Now we're
are
sitting
morons.
here on this stupid podcast talking about stupid shit. Stupid PSA.
Yep, that's right. But no, we can move on into some of these Pokemon markets because this ties in perfectly to what we were kind of talking about last week, and then we're piggybacking on, this week with, everything that's happening in the card grading world. I did want to toss some markets out to you, and I want to get your opinions on it because you know me, man. We've been talking a lot in the chat, and I get it. We were bickering a little bit with each other. It's all out of love. It's all out of love and passion.
He's lying.
It's all out of passion.
Yeah, there you go.
But you know me. I've been trying my best to figure out different ways that we can still make money in the hobby and buy up grade cards and buy some cards, but not have to go the PSA route. So I wrote down 4 cards. All right. So I wrote this one down because I actually pulled this card and I do want to send it out to get graded. I want to talk about the Shaman illustration rare from Destined Rivals.
Ah.
So that card currently in a PSA 10 sells for $66. So it's not a very valuable card or a very expensive card to get.
3.
You're right. But in a CGC pristine 10, that card sells for $68. In a CGC 10, that card currently is sitting at $27. In a PSA 9, that card's sitting at $15. And then in a tag 10, it's 46. But what you're going to notice here is when I go through these cards is that the PSA 10s and the CGC pristine 10s are pretty much the same value. Now, obviously, I've never graded with CGC before. I don't know how hard it is to get a CGC pristine 10, but it was actually surprising to me that those are now are kind of almost, I'm guessing, considered same grades. You know how what they used to talk about with Beckett, how BGS 9.5s and PSA 10s were the same grade. When we say the same grade, we mean like same value. You're gonna get the same value from those grades. And then I wrote down the Zekrom EX special illustration rare from Black Bolt. So that's one of the major chases that you could get from the Black Bolt set. In a PSA 10, currently right now that card is worth $451. In a CGC pristine 10, that card is worth $446. In a CGC 10, that card is worth $202. PSA 9, $209. And a tag 10, the only tag I found was back in October, and that was $425 for a tag 10. So again, CGC pristine 10, PSA 10, roughly around the same amount. And then your CGC 10s and your PSA 9s are pretty much the same value. Then I have the Greninja EX, the one that Larry pulled. The Greninja EX special illustration rare from Twilight Masquerade. PSA 10, $765. CGC Pristine 10, $800. A little bit higher than the PSA 10. A CGC 10, $336. PSA 9, $305. And then a tag 10 was $686. So actually still pretty good for the tag 10 in my opinion. But I was a little bit surprised that the CGC Pristine 10 had a higher sold one. But still roughly, I mean, you're talking what, $35 or whatever, 45, whatever it is. And then the last one I put down was the Gold Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames. You're set.
Oh, yeah.
So a PSA 10 for that card is right now is $177.50. The only CGC Pristine 10 I found was back on November 14th. That was $212.50. There was a CGC 10 that sold for $78. A PSA 9 sold for $38. And then the tag 10 was $99 recent sale. But obviously very small sample size. But what I was seeing out of this was CGC Pristine 10s and PSA 10s are pretty much, when it comes to value, the same grade in terms of value. And then tag kind of, I guess, just like, fluctuates depending on rarity of the card. So what are your thoughts when you hear CGC prices versus PSA 10 prices?
So I kind of want to hear your thoughts. I want to know what that tells you, Jason. But when I hear that stuff and I hear that the pristine CGC 10 is selling for around the price of a PSA 10, and I hear the CGC regular 10 is selling for the price of a PSA 9, it becomes more obvious to me that if you're trying to sell your cards for money, if you're trying to submit a card for money, that you should be sending to PSA. And I say that strictly because of just sheer odds and just how many times I've sent a card for grading, hoping for a specific grade, and I get a lesser grade. Like, again, we're going in circles here. I would never submit a card that I intended to resell to CGC unless I can confirm / almost guarantee that I'm going to get this pristine 10. But That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. If you want to support CGC just in general, then by all means, I love it. If you do get a 10 and you decide to sell it, hell yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. I gotta stop talking before I start screaming
Why are you
you,
gonna scream, man?
because you want me to, like, why would I send it to CGC hoping for the quote unquote perfect card? You want me to submit to this company for them to tell me that my card is perfect when I can submit it to PSA, get their quote unquote gem mint 10 grade, sell it for more money, and then I can use that money to buy more cards that I want. But I'm going to start screaming because it's just, you're like kind of forcing me to say things that I know that I don't want to say. Like, yeah, I don't care about any of these grading companies. I think you should keep your cards raw. But if you really do want to sell your cards and you want to use grading companies, unfortunately, PSA remains the one to send them to. But you already knew I was going to say that. So I want to know what your interpretation of all these prices are and how you feel about them.
So was a little. I'll say this. I should have looked up pop reports too, and I was trying to, as you were
And
talking,
price
look up
too. I'm going to look up how much it costs for CGC.
like to grade. Yeah, I think it's around $25 if I can be if I'm correct. Maybe even less. It might be less. I was a little shocked when I saw the prices. And I'm saying and shocked in a good way because I think for people who like CGC, I think it does give them um confidence that they're going to if they're grading cards with CGC that they can actually make value off the cards. I mean, like you said, I know you guys don't like pristine grades. I understand that. So if their pristine 10 is like their true 10, like that's their actual 10, and then everything, I don't know how easy it is to grade with, how easy it is to get pristine 10s. There's a lot of pristine 10s on eBay. If you just type in CGC pristine 10, a lot of them show up. I saw one video of somebody who was kind of mocking grading companies. He was mocking PSA, he was mocking Beckett, he was mocking SGC, and he was mocking CGC. When he mocked CGC, he wrote on every single card. And that made me go, damn, dude, it's the CGC just like hand out tens like PSA was back in the day?
Good
That
move
could
by
be a
them.
difference. Yeah, it could be a little bit of a difference maker to get people to come in and grade with you. I'm actually very curious, and it's making me kind of want to do a trial run
Go for it,
of
man.
my own cards, of my own personal cards on some of these newer cards that I've been pulling for, or even some of the ones that I've been buying, like some of these GX ones or whatever, and just send some cards. I'll have to look at my box and see what's maybe worth grading that could potentially get that pristine grade.
Right.
It would
See,
have to be worth it. I would have to look at the card and think that it's going to be a gem mint, and then just see if I don't if I can't if they get nines or whatever. I don't fucking care. They're my own cards that were sitting in a box. But I'm just curious to see how the grading is and how many, like if I send, 10 cards in, how many of those 10 are going to come back SG or CGC 10s and can I get a pristine 10 out? So I'm just wanted to do it because I was a little surprised that the pristine 10s were the same value of a PSA 10 because the
me too,
PSA 10 is
actually.
what you're trying to go for. And
Yeah.
if you're sending the CGC, I'm assuming you're not just trying to get a gem mint 10, you're trying to get that pristine 10.
But did you look at any Black Label tens or even a Beckett Gold tens?
No, I didn't look at any Beckett graded cards for these,
Yeah. Good job. No point.
especially now that it's like, hey,
Yeah.
well now they're
Yeah.
just, but
Exactly.
no, I didn't look at that. I was just because if I'm looking at Pokemon cards, I wanna compare them to PSA, to CGC,
CGC.
CGC to tag, and then, obviously, compare what a CGC 10 is versus what's a PSA 9, grade is. Like, maybe getting PSA 9s is the same thing as getting a CGC 10. Because here's the thing, if you don't get a CGC 10 or a PSA 9 at least, any other card, you're losing. You get a
Yep.
PSA 8 on a card, you're losing on that card. Unless it's like maybe the Moonbryon
Yeah. Agree.
that you might be able to salvage something. I think regardless, almost, I mean, it's almost not even good to get a PSA 9. So, and it's looking as if it's almost not even good to get a CGC, just a regular CGC 10, unless it's the Zekrom card or the Greninja or maybe just the regular, the gold Charizard EX. I think what's
Again,
happening is people just need to start getting smarter with what cards they're sending. And if you're pulling those major cards, I think it could work out and benefit you either way, like whichever
some
one you do want to send to. Because
well,
if you
look,
get a pristine 10, that's the same thing as getting a PSA 10.
I hear you. Yeah, I agree with you that I am shocked that the pristine 10s are selling for the price of PSA 10s. Mm. I was looking at the grading submissions for CGC. Bulk submission, max value per card $500. You have to do a 25 card minimum. It's $14 a card, and the current turnaround time is 40 days. But they're,
Pretty good $14.
yeah, so their basic economy, which is max value $1,000 a card, and the cost to grade is $17 a card, and the current turnaround time is 20 working days, 20 business days.
Damn.
So
And
that's
how
not bad.
many how many do you need to send in that order or
I don't
none?
see a minimum on that one.
17?
Yeah. Yeah. The cost
What's
here,
PSA?
I don't know, like at least 25 for that fast. Absolutely. It's going to take a lot of money. Yeah. No
See,
chance
and
it's
that's
going to come
that's
back that
exactly
fast.
what I've been trying to also tell you guys too. Like there is a big, like when you're talking about running a card company, you're talking about selling cards and getting cards that get graded. There's a big difference in turnaround times for these grading companies too. You're spending less money for a quicker turnaround time versus having to spend more money with PSA in order to get those quick turnaround times. 4 to 5 months, a lot can happen in 4 to 5 months. That Ninetales from Obsidian Flames, that card is no longer in the bids anymore. That card has gone back down into the chids. That market window
Good news for me.
has what's up?
Good news for me.
Well, yeah, but that see how quick markets can fluctuate and change. Like the windows of opportunity sometimes are very slim. You can't be waiting 4 to 5 months to get your cards back from PSA, and that's why I think people are focusing so heavily on these higher end markets because they can justify paying $200 to get probably your card back in what, like a week. You know what I'm saying? But if I use CGC and I'm spending $17 a card for 20-day turnaround versus spending, let's just say, $30 with PSA in order to get 20-day turnaround. It's probably more. It's probably like
Yeah.
$50 a card.
Yep.
I'm assuming it's probably 50. So that's a big difference now when you're talking about adding that value because if you're spending $50 on a card and you get a 9 and I get a 9 out of, let's just say, the gold Charizard EX, pay $50 because I want it back in 20 days. I'm losing money on that. If I
Yeah.
pay $17 for CGC and I get at least a 10, that's a $78 card. I'm still profiting off that card.
I'm looking
That
at
does
the,
get factored into it. I've had the argument with you guys many times about think about turnaround times. Think about grading costs and think about turnaround time. I understand the value of like what you get, but it also, if we're trying to turn and burn, it could be smarter to use. That might be why people use CGC a lot
yeah, absolutely.
because they get their cards back in less than a month. Maybe a month if you add in obviously shipping time and stuff like that to get those cards to the grading location.
On PSA's grading site for 20 business days, estimated turnaround time 20 business days, 74.99 a card.
See what I'm saying, man?
5 times as much. Well,
John,
4 times.
$5 a card just to have it sent back in 20 days, man.
Bullshit.
Versus you can send to CGC for $17 and get those cards back in 20 days. And CGC, I'm not saying use C3 grading. CGC is like there's so many acronyms going on here.
Yeah, exactly.
CGC is a legit top company, the second best grading company in the hobby. And you can pay $17 and get your cards back in 20 days versus $75 for PSA. Fuck right off.
Yeah,
Like, that is messed up that you're making people pay that much money. And then not to mention that you'll probably still slap an upcharge on.
that's right. And then their defense for their 20 days max declared value is 1,500 versus the 1,000 for CGC.
Still, man, you're gonna
Yeah,
spend $75
listen,
$75 on a grade? If you're sending that Zekrom at $75 and you're coming back with a PSA 9 that's 200 that you're gonna sell for $209, $75 is a huge chunk that you have to make up for versus 17. I get that CGC 10 at 202, or if I get lucky and get that CGC pristine 10, now I'm selling that card for $446 and I spent $17 to get a grade. Obviously, and whatever it costs to get raw. I'm just going based off of what I'm
right,
paying
I
for the
got you.
grade versus the value.
Yeah, I get it. I do.
Trying to tell you, man. Trying to
And
tell you that maybe,
yeah,
maybe
man,
we could do it. Maybe we could do a test run.
go for it. Good luck. And then when you get a CGC 9, don't come crying to me.
Well, I would be smart and send cards that I truly think are going to at least get. Yeah, I mean, hey,
Sure.
yeah, that's a viable option. It's a true viable option that I can get a CGC 9.5
Yeah. And
or a
then
9.
how much does it sell for?
Oh, yeah, I'll lose money on it.
10
I
bucks.
understand that.
You'll lose a lot of money. How much does it cost to buy the card? Yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, it's the risk you're gonna take. You could send a card, you can get a PSA 8 and you're losing
Exactly.
money. You're
Exactly.
barely making money on PSA. It's 10s or nothing now. That's what it is. It's a PSA 10, a pristine CGC 10, or probably a pristine BGS 10. It's 10s or nothing in the hobby. Nobody gives a shit about 9s unless you have a super, super rare card.
Yeah. I want everyone to understand that this is not me knocking CGC. This is not me knocking PSA. This is not me knocking tag. I want all of them to know that I hate all of you equally. All the grading companies. I don't I don't care. Like, you can send it to CGC for 17 bucks. You're like, oh wow, this is gonna come back fast. And then you get a 9. And that's like, what? How the hell did I get a 9? So it's it's just part of the it's just part of the control that grading has in the hobby. We talked about it to start the podcast episode. Now PSA is cornering that market. Like, it's just gonna get worse. I'm being very pessimistic, which sucks. I hate being this kind of person. Yeah. I mean, if it'll make jelly money, I'm down, Jason. We can send our cars to CGC. Like, I'm down to give it a shot, especially seeing that the turnaround time is only 20 days for only 17 bucks. It's a fifth of the cost, essentially, to a fourth, more to be more accurate, of the cost to send it to CGC versus PSA. You get it back at the same time. Yeah, everything you're saying is true, and I agree with you. That's a huge thing. That's a huge thing in the hobby, especially because markets fluctuate. And that also ties into the Beckett magazines. Beckett magazines became obsolete because one day a Wemby card is worth $1,000. Next day it's worth 1,500. So I got you, man. I hear you. It's starting to eat at my collector soul talking about all this card stuff, especially in the terms of like, buy this card, grade this card, sell it for money, use that money to buy more cards, grade the card. That card doesn't get the grade you want. Now you're back in the hole. And it's just fucking like,
The necessity, though. Grading is a necessity in the hobby now, unless you go the route of keeping everything sealed, like Luke talks about all the time.
or just,
Eliminate the gamble. Eliminate the gamble out of the hobby and keep everything sealed. But then it's just like, to me, there's no fun in that.
yeah, that's what I
I'm not
mean.
gonna have fun sitting on boxes for 6 years and doing nothing in between. Like, no offense, like, I get it. I understand why he wants to do it, and that, hey, that's your own personal thing. Go for it with your own personal stuff. But when it comes to a business, there's more to a business than just like hey, buying boxes, let them sit for 6 years, and then what are we doing? Just sitting back like this? We're just sitting back, like doing what? Like you
Watching.
have to like it's a fast move, dude. This hobby is fast paced now, man. You can't just sit on your ass and just wait for things to happen. It's what I'm trying to like tell you guys. Like we have to be aggressive. You have to be aggressive in this hobby and you have to make moves. You can't just sit back and go, "Well, what if it keeps going up in price?" It keeps going in price. Yeah, no shit, but we also need money, man. We also need money to function.
And you think CGC is a great opportunity for us to have that happen?
I think CGC is a possibility because of turnaround times, because of cost of grading. And when I look at this and I go, we already know it's tens or nothing now. And we're smart. We don't just send whatever to get graded anymore. We're smart with what we send. If it's not worth grading, we sell it raw or we keep it in our collections, right?
Yep.
So we're going to send what we think is valuable enough that, hey, even if it comes back a grade that we didn't expect it to get, we can still profit off this.
Right. Yeah.
We're not,
But that's
you know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying I still think CGC could be a viable
yeah,
option for us if we really start to like rip a bunch of stuff, man, and send it off to get graded and get those cards back in 20 days.
that's
We
yeah.
can't wait 4 to 5 months for cards, man. PC cards, absolutely.
Yes.
Business cards, you can't wait 4 to 5 months for a business card to come back.
Agree. Agree. Yeah.
And we can't be spending $75 on one card because it has to be PSA.
See,
That's all I'm
like,
saying.
all right, I hear you. What you said though at the end is like that's the worst part about it. We send our best cards 20 day and we sending the cards that were like, okay, if this card gets a 9 or a 9.5, we still made some sort of margin. And then like the card comes back an 8.5 or an 8, you just get pissed. Like that's my argument, I guess, for using PSA is that if it goes the worst route possible, it's still got the weight of PSA carrying it. Like PSA at least has that. But now that we're entering the Pokemon card community, it is refreshing to see that CGC also has good value and it also has like a strong reputation. So I hear you, man. I'm with you.
See the wheels turning, man. I see the wheels turning.
Again, don't grade your cards, period. It's not fucking worth it. Screw this. Just keep them raw.
Listen, do whatever you want to do with your cards. And at the end of the day, if you want to grade with PSA, CGC, SGC, BGS, Tag, C3, Arena Club, whoever you want to send your cards to, grade with whoever you want. You know, if you hope to make value off of it, yes, there are some better grading companies out there. PSA is going to get you the most money for your grades as of right now.
As of right now.
But there are other options if you want to, if you don't like what's happening in the, hobby world and you don't like all the scandals that PSA is getting themselves into and you don't like the monopoly that they're starting, there are options out there for you to go, "You know what? I don't want to be a part of that anymore. Let me try something else. I don't want to wait 4 to 5 months anymore, or I don't want to spend $75 in order to get them back in less than a month." So that's my biggest thing. $17, 20-day turnaround. They're not too far off from PF.
The tens, sure. But yeah, man.
Isn't that
Okay.
what we're hunting? I mean, I get
Yeah,
it.
of
I get it.
course.
But like I said, we'll send the right cards. We're not going to just send some. I'm not sending in this, Tapo Coco GX card and expecting to make millions of dollars off of it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So,
Okay.
but we can end there. You can wrap us up.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you everybody for listening. Shout out to Luke and Eric who were not here today. Sad times. It's nice though to go back to the John and Jason days of the Jelly Cards podcast.
Yeah.
So
It's been a while since it's just been the two of us.
yeah, exactly. So thank you everybody. We talked about a lot. we opened the podcast with the Collectors, which is the parent company of PSA, purchasing Beckett. I know that there's going to be a lot of people out there who have an opinion on that. So please comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Jellycards, JELICARDS. You can follow the Jellycards podcast on both Apple and Spotify. If you enjoy the nonsense that we talk about here on this podcast, by all means, please, please, please leave us a rating. It really means a lot to me. I love reading those. It makes my day, makes my whole week. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you, Jason. It was a pleasure, I guess, as much as I hate talking about grading companies, talking about the greed that has consumed the hobby. It was refreshing to see that CGC is still at least holding their own. So thanks, Jason. And yeah.
And shout out to everybody who's been engaging with us on our social media posts.
Yeah, for
We
real.
got a lot of great engagement on those, the talking about the PSA buyback scandal. Yeah, huge. Marking it.
This guy.
Huge kudos to everybody who supports us on our social media, who talks shop with us. We love it. We appreciate it. Keep the comments coming, man.
Shout out to, what's his name? Ryan, right? I don't want to be wrong, but the guy who sold Luke those cards. Yeah, Ryan.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan, too.
Huge shout out. He's loving Luke.
Yeah, Luke and him are best friends
Loving
now.
Luke, man.
Ryan, if you made it this long, if you made it to the end, appreciate you, brother. I'm the one
Well, he listens.
I'm the one who's been
listens.
facilitating the Ryan and Luke relationship. I'll call it that. The relationship between Ryan and Luke. Thank you for that. Thank you for everybody who supports Jelly Cards. We love you all. Good or bad. We love the comments. Keep them coming. And yeah, thank you. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, keep spreading the love of this hobby from your friends at Jelly Cards.